And I'm back with the light roast brewing video. Again, this is a series of videos where I brew light roast coffee from Scandinavia, so north of Europe, the very light roasted ones. And in the first video, I started with a recipe, and this recipe evolved with the evolving of the series. In the last video, we finished to dial in the coffee from Cafe Collective with the V60. If you haven't watched, I suggest you to watch it. Very nice, talking about different kind of paper filters and fixing the recipe just by changing the paper filter, by keeping the same recipe, the same structure of recipe. Now, in this video, we are opening a new bag. I'm going to brew this coffee from Good Life. Good Life is a roastery from Helsinki in Finland, so we go back to Finland. And this is a Kenya, Wash Kenya. And it's kind of interesting because light roast and Kenya means that usually the coffee is very dense, so it will struggle more to drain, in theory. Now we will see. So another coffee, same adventure. I'm going to open the bag. Oh, it smells so good. Now let's look at the beans. And as you see, light roast, what we wanted. Okay, so I'm going to use the same recipe that I used in the previous video, so we will see if it works also for this coffee. And that will be a good achievement. For this video, I will still using the Cafe Abaca paper filter, the one that I used for the last video. And I think I will continue to use this for a while, just to fix some variables. I know that here we talk a lot about changing variables, but sometimes it's good to stick with one. And finding a good paper filter can be one, as well as the water, for example. While this drains, let's grind the coffee. To brew this coffee, I will use the Comandante like for the previous video, so the grind size is going to be the same, 30 clicks. Then we will see if we need to go coarser or finer. The fragrance is very nice, fresh, it's like lemon. I'm going to use the same water at 94 degrees Celsius and same mineral contents, so it's a 0 ppm water with aqua-cold minerals with a TDS of 80 ppm. All right, so now the structure is going to be 6 pours. The first one 45, second one 45, then 40, 40, 40, and 40. So we're gonna keep the same. And let's see how it's going to be the coffee in the cup. Let's start brewing. So far it's fast. That's okay. First pour, classic. Let's always wait until 40, so we keep this consistency. So far it's going fast, but should be regular. It should be start to go slower from the next one. Now let's see if this is going to follow the same pattern. Pretty fast so far. All right. Okay, I think I'm ready for the last pour. And I think this coffee is turning actually fast. It's actually very fast. I mean, I'm not complaining, but we will see if then in the cup is going to taste good or if we need to modify something. All right, so total brew time. Okay, I will say 340. The last one in the previous video, okay, it was a different coffee. Of course, we cannot compare like precisely, but it was 4 minutes 50 using the Abaca paper. If you remember, with the V60 paper, it was like 10 minutes 50. So if you think about 10 minutes 50 and 340 using the same grind size, okay, different coffee, of course, but both washed, because this is also a washed Kenya. So the other one was a washed geisha, of course, different. Right, but it's fascinating, you know, using the same paper filter, use the same grind size, how this can change in between beans. We saw already how can change with the paper and so many variables. Okay, it's more bright than what I was expecting. Berries, fresh berries, I say candied lemon peel, fresh. Maybe we are on the bright side. I think, you know, we're in course, even if we did 6 pulses, the water was draining so fast. Let's see with the mouthfeel. I'm very curious to understand if, even if we went very fast, we get a bit of mouthfeel and sweetness out of the coffee. I'm gonna check the yield just for reference. Okay. The acidity is good. I'm not convinced about the aftertaste. I'm not convinced. When you put in your mouth, it's kind of like fresh. There is this acidity, it's nice. It's not very high. It's very lemony, berry. But the aftertaste is not long. In the bag, we can see black tea, brown sugar. Brown sugar, actually, I can relate with that. I don't know if the black tea is also can be a kind of a quality that you put on the bag to describe that the finish is not very long. Because, you know, black tea is a kind of like oxidated tea leaf. Doesn't have usually a long finish. It's always short. So maybe they put black tea because this quality is not something wrong, but I'm always curious to understand if I can make it longer. Okay. Let's get some data so we can understand more what we can do with this coffee. All right, the TDS is 140%. I'm very happy. Now it starts to become creamy. Also, the aftertaste actually start to be longer, more pleasant. Now the coffee started to taste better. As it cools down, it gained also a bit of more aftertaste, longer aftertaste, so I'm actually very happy with that. But now I'm curious to understand what we can do next. I mean, I'm happy. If I had this bag, open it using this recipe, I was completely happy, to be honest. But let's make something in this video. Let's do something. Should we push more? If we push more, what happens? So, for example, I'm not gonna do 8 pours, but if I go, for example, 2 clicks finer, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna slow down a bit the drainage. Is it gonna be too slow? How is going to become the coffee? Is going to be too intense because we have 140. If we go to click finer, probably the intensity is going to go up. Also, of course, the extraction. Is it gonna be good? Let's see how far we can push it to achieve more sweetness in the cup. I think we should do that. Okay, I'm going to clean everything and then we will brew the same coffee. I'm going to do it 2 clicks finer. Let's see if we can get something better or maybe not. We will see. I will be back in 1 second. I'm back. I have already prepared the paper filter, again using the Caffè Abaca paper filter. I ground already the coffee at 28 clicks with the Comandante, and I'm going to brew the coffee in the same way as I did before. Water 94 degrees, 15 grams of coffee, 250 grams of water, split in 6 pours, 45, 45, 40, 40, 40, 40. All right. Now let's see how the dynamic of brewing are going to be, and also later we will see how it's going to taste in the cup. Let's see if we make it better or we make it worse, or who knows what's gonna happen. All right, let's start again. Again, let's wait until we arrive at 40 seconds and then we will continue pouring. If this is the first time you see my videos about this series, every time we apply the following pour, we need to make sure that all the water drain, and this to keep the consistency of having a high power of extraction of the water, which is very important when we brew light roasted coffee. So we are at the third pour, and I can say that the drainage starts to be a bit slower. We're going to see from the next one if it's going to be too slow. I don't think so, but we will see. Okay, it started to be slower, but not extremely slow. We will definitely gain a bit of contact time here. Let's see if this is going to make the coffee in our cup better. What we're looking for here for a longer and cleaner aftertaste. I cannot even say we want more mouthfeel. There was already a lot of mouthfeel in the previous one, but I want to see if we can make this aftertaste better. Okay, let's go for the last pour. The previous one was 3:40 finished total brew time. We are already over 4 minutes 10. So yeah, it's okay. That's what I wanted to achieve. I wanted more contact time. Also, grinding finer, it will increase the contact surface in between coffee and water, so I'm expecting a high TDS in this coffee. And also higher sweetness. Oh, we will see. Okay, so actually, let's call this, let's say, 440. Basically is 1 minute more of brewing time compared to the previous one. I actually wasn't expecting to be so much, 1 minute for 2 clicks, but I can already say that the aroma is sweeter. Before was a lot of lemon, there was a lot of lemon, fresh berries. Now it's darker. Once again, let's measure the yield just for data. Okay, more or less the same as the one before. Okay, lots of red fruits this time. The lemon kind of like, I don't feel it anymore, but I feel more like strawberry, raspberries, and start to be a bit like darker fruits. Berries still. Start to be blackberry as well. Before I didn't have this kind of aroma. Now, let's see if in the cup we have the same. All right, so I can say that the aftertaste is better than the previous one. In terms of structure, in terms of sweetness and balance, I think it's better than the one before. The only thing missing, it was that nice lemon acidity. I mean, okay, so here it is the thing. It really depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve something more acidity, bright, tea-like brew, this is not the recipe for you. Maybe you should go for, you know, 1 pour, 2 pours. We will touch this kind of pouring style, like recipe style in the future. But now I want to stick with this, with the sweetness that I usually want to achieve in the coffee and the mouthfeel. But I'm saying that the structure here, it's better. I mean, I need to wait until it's cooled down to say, okay, this was a good structure, a good balance. But the start is very promising. Still, like, the acidity is there, don't get me wrong, of course it's there. But it was a nice lemony characteristic before. The kind of like tea-like sensation of the finish, there is no anymore. I will say that now it's more juicy. We'll say like strawberry juice, fresh strawberry juice, kind of aftertaste. It is sweet, it's also fresh, and it's longer. Yeah, it's getting better, better and better and better. So, it's good. Now, let's take some data. So let's think about the previous cup and this cup, and let's see what changed, how it changed, and if we need to do something more with this coffee, maybe we can make it even better. So, curious. Okay, I think we are there. Love brewing coffee. Okay, we have a winner. Okay, total the soft solids is 1.43%. So basically that didn't change much. 1.40, 1.43. I mean, that's not big change, but that minute of contact time kind of like made it like juicier. To be honest, I was expecting to be stronger, honestly. Final grind size plus longer contact time, I was expecting to be over 1.45 for sure. But it's not, it's fine. I prefer like this than higher TDS because higher intensity than, you know, we talk about this in other videos, even during the calendar, you know, like higher TDS, kind of like mask a lot of sensation in your mouth and doesn't give you like a clean spectrum of the coffee characteristic. So I'm happy. I'm curious to do something, but I don't want to do it here in this video. Maybe in the next one. Kind of like pour more water, you know, 270 total amount of water, going back to the 6 pours of 45 grams each of water and see how the coffee is going to be. Maybe I'm going to try for the next video because otherwise it's going to be too long. But this is a good start. Also, I should try to brew with Orea, maybe in the next one. So to understand also like in the flat bottom brewer how it's going to be. But I'm very happy with the V60. So go conical with this coffee, this recipe. I mean, I think we found kind of like the formula for this kind of method, 6 pours, light roast. Very happy. Of course, like it's very hard to replicate at home if you don't have the same coffee, same water, same paper, same dripper, same hand. You never know. But it's good for me to share all this information with you. You know, the goal since the beginning is to find a kind of like starting recipe, a starting point for this kind of coffee. And I think that we are reaching an end for this. That is good because then we can jump in something else. It's not finished here, of course. We will make other coffees, other brews, a lot. I'm gonna share some advice with you. I already said that, I think, in the previous one, but I'm going to repeat them. Grind coarser and then try to push it to go finer and see how you can make it better. It doesn't work all the time, but in this case, it worked. Next time, probably I'm going to do something else. I'm actually like this coffee. Again, it's Wash Kenya from Good Life, roastery from Helsinki. It's actually great. It's a good Kenya, to be honest. It doesn't taste a lot of Kenya, like very dark fruit. So I'm going to finish to enjoy the coffee. That was the brew of today, of this time, new bag. Amazing start, no complaint. Next video, we will explore maybe something else with the recipe, try another brewer, probably urea, flat bottom, and let's see how it's going to be this coffee with a different brewer, but starting from the same recipe. All right, so as always, comment, share your love with me. I always appreciate it. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And in the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day and delicious coffee. Ciao.